Hey, welcome back. I gotta finish before the thunder comes. It's coming. The tornado's coming. Um, and I'm cooking a hot dog, so you might be able to hear that. Sorry. So today, it's actually kind of loud. Should I turn the stove off? No, who cares? I want to cook. The hot dog takes like 20 minutes to cook, so I'm cooking it now. um, burp, 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 burp. I just started thinking about Mario Paint. You guys like Mario Paint? I don't know. I was gonna talk about some little tiny little notes. Let's just get this note over with. I wrote it down. I've already kind of mentioned it before, but I like thinking about it. I just thought of a better way to explain how I've thought about this before. Which is... Ooh, I'm getting close to the mic because the thunder is coming. The absolute value of bad things is higher than good things. I've mentioned that before, like, genocide is... I didn't know how to really explain it, but absolute value is a good way to say that. Like, genocide is worse than puppies are good. And the other part of that was that happiness and empathy are kind of inversely related. So the happier you are in any moment, the less empathy you must have, because if you truly were empathetic, you would be unable to function because there are so many bad things happening, and you would just be sad and miserable all the time. The only time you can be happy is when you're forgetting about the terrible things. That's why laughter is madness. And I like that quote by my boy Solomon in Ecclesiastes. Laughter is madness. If you're happy, you're crazy, because why are you so happy? People in North Africa are being genocided right now. You horrible monster. Why are you laughing at a time like this? It's true. That's how I feel. And the absolute value, I don't know, I still feel this is true. Like, this is a thought that came to me when I was depressed. Like, the bad things are so much worse than the good things. What's the point of living if all these bad things, and, like, you're just hanging on to, like, puppies and chocolate? Is that worth it? If you were a god, would you create this universe where torture and suffering happen every day? And the best thing that can happen is the puppy, like, licking you or something? I don't know. Like, why would you create a universe like that? The absolute value of bad things is higher than good things. Like, if I was going to create a universe, I would make it so that the absolute value of good things is higher than bad things. Like, and maybe you can kind of say, like, if you're still viewing it through, like, a math, you could say, like, well, there's good things happening more often than bad things. Like I'm going to eat a hot dog today. That's good. And I didn't get genocided today, but I eat a hot dog, and, like, tomorrow I'm going to have McDonald's. Like, that's a little good thing. We have a lot of little good things that happen. And then bad things are usually, like, big, like, people die and stuff. So if you were going to argue, I guess I could see that argument, like, well, maybe all the good things, like, if you just take the best good thing and the worst thing, then the absolute value of the worst thing is higher than the best thing. But if you take all the best things and all the worst things and you weigh them, maybe they're equal, maybe the good thing's a little bit higher. I could see that. And maybe when I'm depressed, I think the one way, and when I'm not depressed, I think the positive way. The positive way that, like, all the good things add up to better than the bad things. And when I'm depressed, I think, well, the bad things are horrible. Like, you can't get worse than torture and murder and genocide and all the bad things. Like, nothing good is worth all those bad things. Like, if you're happy because you got married or something, your marriage is at the expense of genocide because your existence is necessary. You're part of existence. And so in order for you, I don't know, does that make sense? Like, you're kind of complicit in genocide. I don't mean it exactly like that, but you're part of the collective world where bad things are happening. So, like, you're allowed to, because, like, you didn't create genocide, so you're allowed to enjoy your good things, but just know that your good things are at the expense of bad things happening to people. Like, this world where you can have a good thing happen to you, the only reason that world is possible is because it's the same world where bad things happen. It's the first time I'm trying to say this, so it might not make total sense, but it makes sense in my brain. Wait, what is this doing here? Is this a new level? I was just talking about... wait, so what's happening here? Are you helping... You're helping your girlfriend move in, I think, is what's happening. And this is her computer. So this is all your girlfriend stuff. Because you already moved in. And you've been living here for like a year or two. So remember what I said about... Let's look at the album. Okay, how much older was she? She's 8 years older than me, right? Because in college, freshman year of college, for her was 2004. Freshman year of college was 2004. Freshman year of college for me was 2011. So she's 7 years older than me. So in 2015, November 2015, that means November 2022. In order for me to be on pace with this girl in my life, I would have to have a girlfriend move in by November of this year, because that's what happens here. But this is the girlfriend that she is happy with at the end of the game, because she has a boyfriend. I don't know how to get off the screen. You press this and it's like, well, no, I don't want to do that. And I press B, no, it doesn't do that. You press Y. Oh, did I do it? Oh, okay. It's Y. So yeah, I gotta figure this out by November. That's always what I do when I play these games, or when I like watch these movies. I'm like, how old is that person? Okay, they're happy when they're 31. They have their life figured out. Okay, I gotta be my life figured out by 31. I know it's not like that. It's stupid, but this it's just lunch thing had better work. 3 dates. Ooh, that's tough. I'm paying. It's kind of weird. It's like I'm paying $300 to meet the person. It's a lot of pressure. It's a lot of money for me. I'm not Mr. Moneybags over here, so I'm not gonna say that on the date. You can't. Like, hey, I paid $300 to meet you. I mean, they paid $300 too to meet me, but if I refer somebody, if anybody's watching, and you do It's Just Lunch, let me know and I get a free date if I refer somebody. So I can get 4 dates instead of 3. 3. Ooh, 3. You get to meet 3 people. It doesn't seem like a lot, but it's gonna help me at least kind of understand who I want to be with more, because I can be more specific, and they're gonna find people in the Syracuse area. They told me they could find people. Uh-oh, tornado's coming. Oh no. I'm squared. It's dark out there. Whew. If I abruptly cut out, you know I got hit by an F5 tornado. That's an F5. That's the tornado that killed my parents. Remember that movie, Twister? Where the tornado... I remember Dan Harmon's podcast, he would always make a joke about Twister, where the joke, like, the movie is terrible because the antagonist is the tornado, and and the one character's like, that's an F5, that's the same one that killed my parents. It's like Jaws or something, where the tornado's like, that's the tornado that killed my parents. It's a terrible movie, but the effects of Twister were pretty cool, like the tornado effects. I liked Twister as a kid. It was one of my favorite movies, I think, as a kid. Well, that note took a lot longer than I thought it would. So I was driving on the date to see the person. I was driving through the country. I was driving south, which I never really do. And south is like really... Was that my air? Alright, I only have 2 minutes left, so you can endure the air sound, sorry. I forgot to turn it off. Let's just finish. Can I finish? No. Oh, I have a lot more stuff to unpack. I thought I was going to finish this week. But I'm glad that I have another week with this game, because it's like, I really like it. This week I felt really good. Did you notice, like, I felt good about this week. Last week, I felt uncomfortable. This week I'm much better. I wonder why. I just feel like I got the lighting and the sound down. So I just wanted to get this point out, like driving south. I mean, I probably mentioned this before, and it's not an interesting, like, it's cliche, it's dumb. The thing that bothers me is, like, when you're in New Jersey and you're in, like, a liberal Democrat area where I grew up, you don't ever see... I never once saw a fuck Donald Trump flag, or like a Let's Go Brandon equivalent. You see bumper stickers, but everybody's got bumper stickers. That's what you do. You just get bumper stickers. And I think bumper stickers are stupid, but it's not a big deal. Everybody does it. It's a bumper sticker. But the thing that kind of scares me about, like, where I feel like uncomfortable in rural areas, because they have such a connection to their conservatism and their Trumpism. It's part of their personality. It's like the main point of who they are is to be a conservative. And I know, like, I'm comfortable in my life. Like, I have the luxury of not having to care about politics that much because I am kind of fine. And they don't have that luxury. So they're more invested. I get that, but that also makes them scarier because, like, they're more invested in this guy who will overthrow the government if he gets the opportunity. Although I did see a thing that made me feel kind of nice today, which was like 56% of people think that Donald Trump should be tried for January 6th by the DOJ. And I'm like, okay, that's good. That's a lot of people. 56%. I think that January 6th commission did a decent job of portraying, like, it's what this guy did is too much. Like, you can't do that. Come on, you can't try to overthrow the government when you lose. You can't do that. 56% is a good amount, and 35% said no. So that's good. I mean, and then the rest are like, ooh, I don't know, maybe not. Oh, what is that? I never got that one. Oh, is when you put them together. Fuzzy friends. Put the tiger in. I never got that one before. Okay, that's funny. I should get all the achievements. A lot of noises. I got my air, I got the thunder. I like the thunder noise though. It's very soothing. So this is my girlfriend's clothes, and she's helping. I assume we're unpacking together. Oh, so we used to just have the one container, and now we got the 2 containers. And this is your stuff, and that's my stuff. I think there might only be I think there might be 2. You move. The last thing you do is you move into a house. So like this is her moving into like your crappy apartment. And then eventually you get a house. I don't know if there's something after this that's not the house. I can't remember. But let's just finish this box and then we'll be done. Ooh, this is a big box. But how's everybody? I had a good week this week. It was a good week. I'm feeling good. Got therapy tomorrow. We're gonna talk about the date stuff, and it's gonna be good. And tomorrow I have my meeting with the It's Just Lunch person, and I have to tell her who I want to date. That's gonna be a hard conversation because I don't know, but I'm gonna try to be honest. It's hard because I remember when the other person was asking me. It's hard not to be superficial. And one of the questions was like, what are you attracted to? Like, I hated, this was my least favorite question. She's like, what kind of personality are you looking for? Like, you looking for like girl next door or like glam? I was like, I don't know. What does that mean? I don't, girl next door? I think I said like down to earth, but I don't know what that means. Whenever I think of down to earth, I think of the girl from Harvest Moon, the GameCube version. What was that one called? A Wonderful Life. I played it on this game, and I'm sure I've talked about her, and I know her name because I remember talking about her. It's Celia. And I remember there's like 3 girls in that game that you can marry, and one of them is down to earth, and that's Celia. She's like a farmer, and I mean, I did like her over the other 2 girls, so I don't know. So that's what I thought, like down to earth. That's stupid that I thought of a video game. But that's the only reference I have. Is like, which video game character did I like? I guess that's a helpful reference point. Like, what else am I supposed to say? When I was choosing in Harvest Moon, I should say that in the phone call. Well, I'm not sure exactly, but when I was choosing in Harvest Moon, I picked Celia, and she's down to earth, so I think I would say down to earth. And there was one. I don't remember the third girl, but I think she was kind of like a cool, like rocker, like art, or like musician, like punk or something. She had like short hair, and then the third one was glam. She was like kind of like a princess. She had like long blonde hair, and she was very like, oh, I live in the castle and I don't farm. Um, and I didn't like that as a kid. I was like 10 years old when I played that game. So it's embarrassing that like my taste hasn't changed because I haven't been with anybody, so I'm still just like a 10-year-old kid being like, I like the girl in Harvest Moon. Okay, I talked about it enough. But let's look them up. I want to show you who I'm talking about, or you can watch my video. Really? I went over today? That's weird. Okay. I just like talking about Harvest Moon. Harvest Moon, A Wonderful Life. Girls. Yeah, I'm remembering. Yeah, there's 3 girls. And I married the one on the left. I don't know. Now that I'm looking at her now, I'm like, I don't like this. I don't like her dress, really. The arms are too puffy, but I married the one on the left. That one. And this is the glam girl. And she's like cool. I don't like that. She's too cool. I'm like, yeah. I mean, out of these 3 people, maybe I should tell the. I mean, this is basically what they're asking me. Like, which one of these 3 people do you like more? I'm like, she's down to earth. She's I don't know. This is so stupid. I don't know how to answer that question. I gotta stop. The thunder's coming. Oh wow, it's getting windy out there. Is it a tornado? I gotta eat my hot dog. Ooh. Can you hear that? That's fun. Let's look at the Doppler. I gotta stop. Okay. Yeah, cut it off now, or maybe I don't know, or if you want to show the Doppler radar. And I'm done. Let's just end. Oh, that doesn't look that bad. There's some purple in there. Okay. See you tomorrow.